Hello, everyone, and welcome to Magic in the Matrix. I'm your co-host, Kelsey White, and here I am with
Alexander Fox.
this week we are talking about Alexander Fox's possibly most favorite topic in the entire world, and that is manifestation. Woo!
Manifestation.
First, I have a story for you. I was getting ready this morning and I was like under like the bright light in my to do my makeup in my bathroom. And then I was like, oh my God, my hair went gray. Like, how did I not notice? And listen, like if you have gray hair, we love it. It's just a whole thing. Like the first time you see it's gray, right? So I was like, and I was looking through it, and then I like looked closer and realized that it was like lotion I had put on my head. So,
Did you manifest that?
I now I know how I would feel with gray hair, but I think some are probably coming back here. But it was just like a profound amount of gray, and I was like, goodness, like I guess I timeline shifted inordinately because I have literally shifted to a timeline with like full gray roots. But anyways, guys, if you're putting lotion on, it might turn your hair gray, and that's cool.
But then you'll notice it's not, and then it'll also be cool.
I would have tripped if I hadn't understood that and then saw it wasn't gray later. I'd be like, Alexander, I think I shifted timelines again. Yeah, that would have been a spiral for the ages.
20 years ahead, 20 years back.
Your hair's looking pretty good though. I feel like we're in like extra mode, right? Like our prints and our hair and headbands, like we're just doing it today.
We are standing out.
Stand up, stand out. But anyway, today we're here to talk about manifestation, not our hair and our very cool outfits, guys. So, Alexander, what is manifestation?
Manifestation. This is a way to call in your desires and dreams into reality. And you can do it by praying, taking inspired action, by visualizing it, saying out loud. That's just a general synopsis, easygoing in a nutshell type of way to explain it.
Gorgeous. Yeah, that's a great overview. I would say the only nuance I'd add is for
Mhm.
me, manifestation is kind of calling in your desired outcome by aligning with the feeling or like literally the energetic vibration of how you would feel when you have that desired outcome. So it's like that energetic level for me is so much more like visceral to the concept of manifestation than anything else. But it's all the above.
Mm. Love how you portrayed that, literally, the vibrational frequency and being a match for what you're calling in.
Thank you. Well,
Mm.
okay. I guess you guys don't know this, but Alexander is probably the best manifester I've ever met. Like this dude will manifest food and opportunities like 40 times over every time we speak. So, my very important question for you is how do you do it?
You know, it's happened in so many ways of how I do it, because it's always been a different scenario, right?
Mhm.
But the ways that I do it is it's like, okay, what do I want? That's the number one thing. Figure out what it is that you want. And then start seeing it in your mind's eye, maybe even in like a teleprompter coming out from your eyes, and you can literally see it like on a screen in the sky or like in your air vision right in front of you. And then like create the movie in your mind, like seeing how you are being in it. You know, like how are you acting? What are you saying? Who's in the movie? What are you wearing? And yeah. And then even saying it out loud, creating some affirmations with it, saying like, oh, if I really want this job making 40K a year and I want the workplace to be 30 minutes away from my house and I want to have sales and bonuses and I want the company to be really cool and laid back, then don't just say it one time, like say it out loud, like multiple times, like every day. And then even
Mhm.
start saying it to your friends and family, as long as it
Sure.
doesn't sound totally ridiculous. Because sometimes you don't want to tell people those. But if you have something that's very simple and logical and very realistic for
Mhm.
happening, then almost nobody can say, like, I don't doubt you. That sounds cool. Like
Yeah.
go for it. So and then taking the inspired action by like, maybe asking people, oh, like, how do I get this job at 40K a year? And then putting your stuff out on Indeed and ZipRecruiter and LinkedIn and all those things, and then getting in the interviews and doing your best and just remaining open, even if opportunities knock you down. Like, still be present, still stay on your horse, and it will happen. It for sure will happen eventually. It just depends on divine timing, God's speed. Just got to let go of that control.
Totally. That, right? Like that attachment to the outcome sometimes represents a little danger in manifesting, right? Like
God,
you want
yeah.
it so much, and then the universe is like, you might have some lessons to learn. Like, why do you want this so much? I think that was an excellent, excellent overview. The only thing I would change is you don't necessarily want to share it with people if it's not realistic or try to be realistic. I'm like, be unrealistic, babies. Like, let your team support you and your friends support all of your wildest dreams. But no, the
Mm.
kind of kid, sometimes it's a little crazy and out there, and you want to keep that within your own kind of quantum reality for a bit. Cool. Well,
Hmm.
I manifest pretty similarly to that, right? Like you kind of said, like you do a lot of repetition, and a lot of inspired action. For me, I do underscore that like feeling component of how I manifest, right? So like an example, I was going through some rounds of interviews for a job, and my typical prep is the very analytical, business-minded version of me, right? Like I'm like looking up 10Ks and comps and business questions and reading all their earnings transcripts, boring stuff. And am the most prepped person ever. And I think about any relevant thing. And then I just took a totally different approach this most recent time when I actually got a job. I was like, all right, after every round of interviews, in my body and soul, I'm going to feel confident and proud of how I did. And so I was literally just like breathing and grounding and then feeling in my whole body, like ending the Zoom or whatever and being like, wow, I'm so proud of how I did. I feel like it conveyed my, brilliance and my thoughts beautifully. And so every single
Mm.
round, it kept just going further and further. And I was getting great feedback. And I was like, how funny, because usually I prep in this totally different, more analytical way. But this time I'm just prepping by this feeling. And so that feeling of confidence and pride is what really led me to this like beautiful outcome to manifest in this job, which was such a funny way to approach like a high executive corporate finance job, but it worked.
Wow, look at you go, Quantum Barbie.
Hey, please, again, make me some merch that says that. Or maybe I make the merch and distribute. I don't know, but
Mm. I think you got to make
gorgeous.
the merch.
All right, I'll make the merch, guys. If you want Quantum Barbie merch, maybe like a crop top, that would be really cute. Or like a little tank that you wear to the gym. I got you. All right. So again, want to underscore what a good manifestor you are. Tell me about like an experience of you just manifesting something surreal.
Okay, so I remember there was a time where I created a vision board and I had like 5 things on it. And I looked at this vision board like all year long and then totally forgot about it. Totally forgot. And then when I went to Costa Rica, I remember like getting this intuitive hint that I was supposed to be going to Peru. And I was like, this is my first day of Costa Rica. Why am I getting a sign to go to Peru now? Like, can I just enjoy my time here? And then like a month later, still in Costa Rica, I hear someone talking about Peru. And I was like, okay, universe, if you really want me to go to Peru, then like I gotta see it. I gotta see it on like somebody's shirt, like Peru on someone's shirt. And then like 3 days later, I'm at a retreat and a woman puts on a shirt and it has Peru on it. And I was like, this is nuts. Oh my God. So then like 3 weeks later, I'm in Peru. And then I find out I'm moving to Texas. So I had to travel back to Ohio and I'm going through all my stuff. And I had the vision board. Going to Machu Picchu was on my vision board, that one of the 5 things. And I
God.
literally went to Machu Picchu while being in Peru. And I said, wow, this vision board stuff really works.
Oh my gosh. Also, you kind of manifested the shirt too, right? Like even on your way to manifesting your vision board, you manifested a
Ooh.
shirt.
Yeah, literally. I needed the sign and I wanted to be as specific as I could so that the universe would take me more seriously and to be like, okay, he can't miss it. There's no way he can miss this, you know?
Also, an episode on signs we've got to do because I love asking for signs, but I feel like it is a little hybrid of like your guides coming in and then just your manifestation, just magic, magic, magic. And
Yeah.
the matrix, matrix, matrix. That's amazing. Wow. Okay. Well, for, just offline, I want to talk about Machu Picchu. My gosh, like talk about bucket list.
One of the most powerful energetic vortexes you will ever step foot into, for sure.
Amazing. I'm
Yeah.
sure, yeah, your energetic body has changed forever. Wow.
Oh yeah, it's forever changed. It impacted me in so many ways, like in such like high vibe, spiritual, love, history, culture, and then also like deep, dark depression and totally
Oh.
sadness and anger. And I was just feeling like everything that those people went through, the Incas.
Oh,
Yeah.
talk about being empathic. I hear that around like Chichen Itza and Tulum too, that like there's just this kind of like push and pull of this like expansion and this like feeling of all these like this history of all this experience and trauma from all these people and those vortex centers are wide open. Like you can't miss it.
Insane. Yeah, no. You will feel it and you'll know that you're inside.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have to talk to you offline about this because we're talking about manifestation, but I was about to tell you about Sedona. Same thing, guys. Travel to these centers, you will be blown open.
Amen to that.
Beautiful.
Now, Kelsey, it's your turn to share with us one of
What
your
I've
manifestations when
Okay,
they
I
when
have
they came
like
true.
my most favorite story, and this is recent. So where I am here, it's my house. Shocker. We don't have a podcast studio yet. What we do is just my house. Um, So I moved from Chicago. I had this like condo there, and the condo had really high ceilings and living rooms, like the vaulted ceilings, and it just made me feel happy. And then I moved to Austin and I rented a place sight unseen. Honestly, it was kind of a big risk, and it was okay. It had a pool, which was gorgeous, but it just wasn't exactly what I was looking for. So when my lease came up, I was like, I want to rent a house that has a yard for Ollie, that's fenced, that is modern that has these high ceilings, vaulted ceilings, at least somewhere. And then I want an extra space to kind of decompress and meditate. And then separately, I was talking to friends and joking all along the way that I wanted a place that had dimmer switches on every light. But that was just kind of a bit I was doing about being generally an overstimulated person. So anyway, so I'm working with this real estate agent and we're kind of going all over and crazy enough, like things just were falling through that, for example, one house had been in the market for like 200 days and there was like a long story attached with it. So I was trying to get comfortable about like, it seems really great. Why did no one get this place? And then I put an offer on renting it. And then literally like someone had put an offer in like a day before or like an hour before. Just like all these crazy things like that where I would think I was getting a place and then it just would disappear. And I'm like, okay. And I really meditated in and I was like, something about these places, like there's something better, right? And then I go to this one more tour and the place is literally just just redone by the landlord. And so the guy redid all the counters and they're like white. And then all of the little cabinets with like the hardware that's gold, redid the floors and they're all bright. Vaulted ceilings in the living room, vaulted ceilings in the bedroom and the master bathroom, a spare garage conversion that was supposed to be a movie room, but it's like no windows, all dark. It's a meditation room. And he installed dimmer switches on every light.
Yo.
I was like, and so I
Yo.
keep talking about the feeling, right? Like, in some way, I think I've been considering the feeling of just like joy to be in this home that I love because I had just moved, to this place the previous year that I hadn't loved. I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it. I was just like, this is fine. And then my condo in Chicago, I really liked it when I got it, but then there was like water issues and stuff, and I just felt like I wasn't like, I love my house. I was like, this is a source of stress. And so it was really kind of the feeling of joy of just having a place that I just love and I feel so excited about. But then to get that level of specificity for what I wanted, and I was kind of doing the thing where you write it all down, which like I think there's pros and cons to that approach, like to being too specific or not. But baby, I've heard from some people be as specific as you can and you'll get
Hmm.
it if you're really in the vibration. So yeah. So my house right now, also modern light fixtures, like all the things. So yeah, that was honestly mind blowing because I didn't in the past, well, not current Kelsey's an amazing manifester. But in the past, I felt like maybe I wasn't that good of a manifester, and we can get to why in the next question. But yeah, here she goes in her little modern house with the vaulted ceilings.
You did it.
I'm just smiling and making faces at the camera if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Just charmed by my own self. Well, thank you
Mm.
for asking. All right. So on to like what happens if you manifest something in and you don't like it?
Ooh. Okay. If you manifest something and then you don't like it, I remember a time where I got a job. It literally had everything I wanted, like part-time, work from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., be it was like a good hourly rate. And it was like a very small company, very laid back and less than 30 minutes from my house. And the first few weeks were great. And then going into the fourth week, things were getting weird. And I was like, ooh, okay, I don't like this anymore. I need an out. I need to get out. And I didn't know how I was gonna do it because I had never like quit something before where like things like didn't go south in some ways. So I was in a meeting and they were like talking about like their next big project. And then they said something, it's like, Alexander, do you really want to do this? And I got this loud ringing in my ear. And then I was like, no, I don't want to do this. And they're like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm a good fit for this company anymore. I'm sorry. It just took me now to realize that, but
Wow.
and they're like, well, all your references said that you were great and all this and that. And I'm like, they're not wrong, but just I don't feel like it's a good fit anymore. And they're like, okay, well, goodbye. And I walked out of the meeting.
Deuces.
And then I went to Electric Forest the very next day.
Oh my gosh. The life of you. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. Yeah, just leave it behind. I don't have a very like profound answer for this. Like if you don't like it, then be grateful for to what it taught you, right? Like that experience, if you manifest something in, like it helps you hone your next manifestation. Like what do you want to feel or what do you want to call in that's a little bit different than that? There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've just helped your next manifestation, but clinging on to it is just unneeded, right? Because you know in your gut, maybe you don't get like the God ringing, ears ringing like Alexander does all the time. Maybe you might. But yeah, just be, and I'm a triple Taurus speaking. I don't change easily, but I'm learning slowly but surely
Yeah,
that
you
if
are.
like something in your path, like again, that attachment to an outcome or ego, consideration in an outcome, it's not needed. Just pivot. Who cares?
I will say that when you do leave your manifestation, leave it with integrity,
Oh yeah.
kindness,
Oh
love,
yes.
compassion, and just making sure everything is subtle. You don't want to like push buttons or poke the bear or anything like that. Just remain calm and just be honest with
Yeah.
whatever is really coming up for you. And then that'll also better assist you in keeping a very good vibration with everyone in turn, especially with you, but then also with them. So it's just like, okay, they're not, feeling too icky and yucky. They may feel bad that you're leaving, but you're leaving on better terms than if things were to really not go well at all.
Absolutely. And this can be, right? Like, even if it's not a certain, job you're leaving or something, whatever it is, try to leave it in the best vibration because that manifestation might come back. You might want to manifest that later. And whether it's like relationships with other people or within
Mm,
yourself, the neural pathways regarding this situation, you don't want it to seem like some negative, non-starter for the rest of time. Like, we don't know what we don't know. Like, we're not
mm,
there's a lot of winding paths in life, and sometimes you wind back at something and you just manifested it honestly too early. Like, and then you find yourself back to it later, and you're like, this feels a lot more in flow this time around. So yeah,
whoa.
don't add bad karma, guys, doing anything. Okay, I have another fun one. Have you ever tried to manifest something and it just didn't come true?
Ooh, manifest something and it did not come true. So going back to that vision board, I remember I really wanted to start my own like Reiki business. And at that time, it actually did not come true. And I wish I would have put like more energy and stuff into it. Like now it's became manifested, but like when I wanted it, it didn't come. And then
Hmm.
another thing I really wanted was a $10 million home in Charleston, South Carolina.
Casual,
And
casual.
and that did not happen for many reasons. I didn't even like achieve like $100,000, let alone like millions of dollars being in the vibration of it. So there was really no way for me to even like manifest that or even have myself surrounded by people or connections or even along any kind of circumstances for that happening. So,
Hmm.
and I'm also pretty grateful that didn't happen because I don't even know what I would do in Charleston, South Carolina. I just love being there. I just don't think it's spiritual enough for me to do my own thing there.
You
Maybe,
you went
but
bold though. Yeah, you said millions, plural. A specific location, like you went ham on that one. You like one of them's like going to Machu Picchu, and then you're like, should I go to Peru? And then another one's like Charleston, millions of dollars, this is your home. Like, wow. I love that journey for you. And
I'm in Austin, Texas now.
Austin, what's up? No, not Cleveland though. If you listen to any other episode, you know Cleveland representing with Mr. Fox.
All day, every day. It's still with me.
Of course. I was scared you were going to say everything you wanted to manifest came through true because you're so good at that. I have had plenty of things not come true, but really
Mm,
more wanted to share my thoughts on things not coming true. Like this
yes.
like millions of dollars things it's a good example. Like
Hmm.
sometimes, right, like your energy alignment, right? Like as you're going through your path, taking such a quantum leap that's in like a whole reality so far from kind of where you are will be a lot more challenging to manifest. I think anything's possible, but it's much less likely if you're trying to manifest something that's not really in your vibration at all. And then more specifically, for me, I think a lot of times I've not manifested certain things because I had a limiting belief or a self-worth issue. Maybe that's the same thing. I don't know how you view it, but around whatever I was trying to manifest in, right? So sometimes I'm thinking like, oh, I want to manifest XYZ 1, 2, 3, but I have a limiting belief around that. And I'm actually, my subconscious is driving my behavior in my life and my lived experience. So for example, I have this, I think I've shared this before, like this limiting belief, like to have abundance equals suffering. It's just this like terrible drudge of work. And that's how you get your financial abundance. And then you can have all this other fun, but like in this belief, I've been interrogating quite a bit recently. But if I'm saying like, I want to manifest in this feeling of going to work and skipping around and having ease and support, but my foundational core belief is that abundance equals suffering, I'm not going to manifest this job where I have like all the support and I'm skipping around. My lived experience, my consciousness is going to reflect to me my subconscious belief system. Our subconscious, we all know, drives like our life. And so sometimes if you're really over and over trying to manifest something and it's just not coming and it seems like reasonable enough, right? Like I Alexander, you have jobs that you really love to heal people and do things and you experience all kinds of joy. While I'm trudging away at work sometimes, right? And it's like, so I can think like this is a realistic manifestation, but it's not happening. That's when I go, okay, let me interrogate my belief system, my foundational core belief system that might relate to this and see if that's possible. So that's my one pro tip. I have one other pro tip when things are not manifesting. And as you can see from this podcast, I have more experience with not manifesting than others. I will push against the grain all day, guys. But that really is, if you are allocating your energy over and over towards something, and then you're kind of trying to manifest something in that spot, but your energy is flowing towards something that is contradictory to what you're trying to manifest in, you're not going to manifest. So I'll try to give a better example. So say you want to manifest like this beautiful, flowing, love-filled, supportive, romantic partnership, but you're currently in a relationship that's very toxic and you're not getting the support and love that you need. Maybe in many ways you're working on, I'm looking to feel supported and in love and adored and adoring and whatever, but your actual energy day to day is going to this partnership where this is not happening. So maybe you could get that relationship to that level where you feel those beautiful things, but maybe you can't. And so that is the other thing that I would recommend you all kind of interrogate is if I'm trying to manifest something, what is in the way of that manifestation? Is there something in the way of this manifestation? And if so, how do you remove that, right? So those would be my two key tips. Like either remove some blockages that are like literally present in your energetic flow of your life or your foundational core beliefs. And then you can excavate those. And that's maybe as much of a core to manifestation as like repetition or feeling, right? Because there's a little bit more work that needs to get done many times, or we would just have manifested everything we want. But yeah, I think all the repetition and visualization and sharing with friends and vision boards are beautiful and they're great tools. So do all of the above.
Absolutely. No, beautiful discussion on that. There's there's so much that can go into it. And when we really take a deep look at ourselves within and seeing like what it is that we want to manifest, and then it's like, okay, what's like holding me back from like
Hmm.
what's keeping me from playing small? Like what am I doing in my life that's not helping this dream come true? You
Hmm.
know? Yeah.
Gorgeous. Any closing thoughts on manifestation, Mr. Pro?
Even if your manifestation is not coming true, kind of like what Kelsey said, it may not be the right time yet.
Mm.
And you may just have to wait a little bit longer, or maybe the universe is saving you from something that you're not supposed to be doing. Maybe it wants to guide you in a different direction.
Mhm.
And tune into that, like feel into it, like that manifestation that you're wanting. And if it's not happening for you, then take a break from it, like let it go, and then go do something else. And then maybe it comes back to you in a different way.
Beautifully said. So we'd say this a lot. If you're trying to call something in or pray for something, you can add at the end of this your whatever thought process or prayer, this or something better, this or something better, right? So you might be trying to manifest something that is going to be in the way of something even beyond your wildest dreams. So this or something better. I will close with my favorite mantra, which is you cannot miss what's meant for you. I cannot miss what's meant for me. So guys, if you are not manifesting something right now, if it's part of your soul plan, you will achieve it someday. You will manifest it. You've got it. So just be patient. Divine timing is real. We got you. We hope you all manifest, all the love, abundance, fun, snacks, puppies, rainbows, unicorns, sprinkles, glitter. What else?
Oh my gosh.
Gray hairs,
Massages, energy
massage,
healings.
funky clothes, best friends, podcasts, all of your wildest dreams. We love you so much. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, hang out, manifest. Tune in again. We'll be back. Love you, fam.
Manifest the best, y'all. Namaste.